This conference will now be recorded.
All right, so as always, everything we're going to be talking about today is for educational purposes only, and nothing is intended as any type of investment advice. So happy Monday. Today, Monday, January 28th, we have 1 week left of trading in January. Actually, not even 4 days, and then Friday being the first. And if we take a look, first of all, it looked like we had some decent stuff out there, but all of a sudden, I just out of the corner of my eye, I saw NVDA just getting absolutely hammered. So I don't know what came into it. MU, same type of deal, which we'll go into for in a second. So pretty simple. You know, when a stock moves like this, okay, we have beautiful prints that came in at 158 on that bid side. Going to be expecting it to pull up from there. And then end up, and then we're going to end up with a continuation. So the one thing is that on this move down, you can see the orders are pretty thin. And unfortunately, because of that, we just weren't able to get really, because of how fast it was moving, we're not able to get really any type of bigger prints, bigger selling prints that were coming in that to show us a more of a continuation. Whenever you see something like that, especially in the pre-market when there's really no orders out there, you have to look at the regular time and sales and look for those bursts. So, like for instance, a 147.50 burst like we just saw, that came right in there. So overall, we still have that selling coming in, but we're going to need to see a better show of hand. 158, unfortunately, is just way too far from the beginning of the start of this move for us to really pay attention too much to that. Yeah. How does a stop drop $9 in a stock drop $9 in 1 second? Well, very easily when the orders look like this. So on average, it trades $9.27. So when like I said, when there's just no orders out there like that, that's why it moved so quickly, and that's why we saw it happen like that. So just got to see, as long as we have continued selling, as we're seeing coming back into this thing has even more room for it to drop. And then MU, coming over to MU, same type of deal. Not nearly as drastic, but another one. Look at this selling that came in at 38.12, 38.45, 38.43 in the 45 area, 30s. So another one that we're going to be expecting a pull-up from before we would have a continuation towards that downside. So those two certainly going to be on my list. Now, before that happened, number one thing I was looking at this morning was VALE. So VALE, one thing I want you guys to understand is don't get caught up in what looks to be a huge amount of print. And when I say that, it's because if you look at the orders that are out here, they're extremely, extremely thick. So when we see something like this, it takes just a huge amount to really get this thing moving anywhere. It just doesn't do much base. So, this morning we actually had a lot of range that came back into it, but look, it moves about 50 cents. So don't expect much from it off of what seems to be a huge amount going on out there. It's, everything is relevant. So you have to make sure that you keep that in mind when you're looking at these prints. Like I said, it does not trade a lot. Now, based off the volume that we have today, certainly going to trade more than 49 cents based off of the variables that we have going on out there. But just like I said, don't be shocked if it trades 60 cents off of something that's absolutely huge. You can't be expecting a 50-cent pullback on it when it only moves 50 cents in an entire day. All right, and then that 12 level is just so mixed. I mean, we just had a huge amount of buying that came in, a huge amount of selling. It's just extremely mixed. So we have to see if we get actual new selling coming in at that 12 level, because before it was just mostly covering. Cat, another one that I'm really interested in looking at. So everyone, I'm not sure if everyone knows this, but the cat is supposedly the crystal ball to what happens with the Dow. All right, so usually when something happens with CAT, it happens first, and then the Dow follows shortly after. Now, based off of what we've been seeing out there with selling and what we've been talking about, just something very interesting to kind of keep in the back of your mind. All right, 128, we have some new selling that came in. Not anything huge. I would like to see a lot more, but CAT's going to move a whole bunch today. Average $4.37. Based off the volume that we already see trading in it, we're going to see a lot more. Well, then I hope CAT goes to 5. Well, based off of the consolidation that we see going on in here, as long as we just keep getting that new selling, I wish we had a little bit more at 128 in order for to really show us we're going to get a real big move. So we'll keep our eyes on this, but as of right now, going to be looking for a pull up once the market opens, definitely covering for profit taking, and then a move down underneath that 128. Moving along, PCG, another one looking at this morning. So the thing about the PCG is now you got a little bit more selling, but pretty much almost everything that I saw this morning, you can see we got some really big prints that were popping out there, 100,000, 100,000. So very interesting to see that, especially at the times. You can see a 92,000, and just almost everything I saw this morning on the bigger side of things was buying. So there's a huge prints that are coming in, and almost everything looks like buying from from pretty much the move towards that downside. And once it moved to the downside on nothing, we kept saying that buying coming back in. So keep that in mind as we're continuing to watch this, because as of right this second, I really wish we would have got some better prints out there, but we do have that buying that came in at 11. We're on the pullback right now, so a nice trigger up would be what I'm going to be looking for. Next one is AVCO. Now, AVCO is on my side list, and the reason being is because I was not happy at all with the buying that we got around 750. You can see just not really that much. The orders are extremely thin. I do understand that, but the volume is there enough for us for someone to be able to come in a little bit more than that. We have a little bit of selling, just not happy at all with the amount of buying that we got in there. So as long as we get new buying coming in, I'm perfectly fine with it. It's just that needs to happen because I have not seen that. And other than that, it just looks like everything's kind of falling. And NVDA, what a trade this thing was. Wow. Yeah, so NVDA is probably the number one thing we're going to be looking at. They have more selling that just came in at that 142. Absolutely beautiful. All right, guys, anything else out there that I missed? All right, beautiful. So let's get ready for the morning. As you know, once again, as long as we keep getting new selling coming into this NVDA, it looks like we're going to. You're talking 160. It's down $20 already from overnight, and then coming down. So that's pretty substantial. All right, guys. I'll see everyone in the chat, and happy trading.